Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So from the Daily Hodl today, Euro Exim Bank boosts Ripple and XRP. The first bank to sign up Ripple's XRP-based payment solution, XRapid, says the technology will give its customers the power to move money in their local currency without having to convert to US dollars. Guys, this is a huge step in the right direction. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I will link the article in the description, guys. I link all the articles in the description for every video, so if you do not see me covering it in the depth that you require, you can always just go to the description, and that's where you will get the full articles. Next, just real quick, the Wheat's Wind Ask Me Anything. He has posted it on YouTube. It's about an hour and a half long. To be honest, I have not watched it, but I will probably watch it today if I can find some time. Nevertheless, some pretty cool things seem to be happening over at XRLP Labs. So again, guys, I will link it in the description if you want to watch the AMA. But Nick Foong on Twitter, right here, Nick Foong, that's at Nick, Nick 168FNG. According to the Japan Virtual Currency Exchange Association, XRP is hodled in larger amounts than BTC. And so thank you very much, Nick Foong, for posting this. And here's the article here. XRP is hodled in larger amounts than Bitcoin in Japan, according to a national survey. Japan has always been the leader towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption. And guys, if you ever watch those old Bitcoin documentaries, and when I mean old, I mean from 2011 or 2015, there's a couple of them out there. I know one was done in 2011. And one was done in 2015. They do a lot of roaming around planet Earth to different countries to see who's using Bitcoin. And Japan is always front and center in a lot of these documentaries. You know, being kind of the leading edge towards cryptocurrencies, taking Bitcoin. And again, you got to remember this was at a time when Bitcoin was kind of the only option for alternative currencies in the world. And so, they go and they visit small shop owners and grocery stores. And some of these older guys, they're a little skeptical, but they end up wanting to use Bitcoin. Some charming stories in a lot of these documentaries. But the point I'm trying to make here is that at a time when Bitcoin was the only option, Japan was embracing it. And so we can kind of get a sense of where their heads are at in terms of cryptocurrency, in terms of technology, in terms of alternative currencies. And so to me, this just goes to show how things have changed. Japan has always been the leader towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption. Nevertheless, it has also set up specific regulatory bodies to monitor and control the cryptocurrency operations in the country. Japan Virtual Currency Exchange Association is one such body. The JVCEA released statistical information of 18 domestic virtual currencies exchange traders, including domestic vendors, on February 20th, just a couple of days ago. XRP and BTC lead the pack in the data published today by the JVCEA. Statistical information on the virtual currency transactional volume and holding amounts as of December 31st, 2018 is stated. The statistical information, as compiled after gathering data from 18 cryptocurrency exchanges, in excluding Tech Bureau Co. Limited, the actual transactional volume refers to the actual amount of tokens that are traded in exchange for fiat or vice versa. And then it gives a definition of the margin trading volume as well. And as you can see here, Ripple XRP, approximately 98.98 billion yen worth of XRP, compared to Bitcoin at approximately 65.65 billion yen. So there's almost 30 billion yen. So people who hold XRP in Japan are roughly holding about 30 billion yen more XRP than they are holding Bitcoin. And to me, that speaks volumes. We know Japan has been friendly with Ripple and XRP, but it's quite another thing to actually see the public holding all this XRP and their faith behind it. I really do think that they will start using XRP in everyday life in Japan sooner rather than later. The kind of ways that we saw them using Bitcoin maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, when that was kind of a revolutionary monetary system, even when only small shops and grocery stores were accepting Bitcoin. Anyways, guys, really interesting information there. Here on Twitter, Ant1, that's at Ant159694954, posted this on Twitter, and I saw this yesterday. I wanted to get around to it, but didn't. IMF and Ripple, what's going on? And so I'm going to read some of this article for you guys with the IMF and Ripple. So let's talk IMF and Ripple for a second. For about a year or two, maybe two, we have seen the IMF alongside Ripple in images blasted all over the internet. We have seen the managing director and chairwoman of the International Monetary Fund praise Ripple and what Ripple is trying to accomplish with the digital asset XRP over and over again. But why? There has to be a purpose, and I always like to think in terms of actions are never made unless there is a purpose for it. I mean, quite frankly, Christine Lagarde and Brad Garlinghouse could just be very, very good friends and just go over to each other's houses on the weekend for dinner and wine. I don't know. Chances are that's very unlikely that is the case. So there is probably a bigger purpose to this. Is the IMF going to create the IMF coin and are just using XRP as an example? Unlikely. So what is really going on between Ripple and the IMF? Let's dig in a little deeper. A couple of months back at the Paris FinTech Forum, Christine Lagarde warned banks that they need to act and adapt to new technologies to better serve their customers. Christine Lagarde said, and I quote, "I think in the banking system at large in many, many countries, the difference will not be between those who are disrupted and those who survive. The difference will be between those who are cannibalized because they're not seeing it coming and they're not embracing it, and those who self-induce that cannibalization." And I'm using cannibalization on purpose because it's a bit of a striking, horrible word, but it's really what it means. You're going to disrupt your business model. You're going to change it. You're going to reduce your costs. You're going to expedite your transactions, and you're going to inspire confidence because you will build out on the basis of an existing backbone, which is your bank and the confidence relationship you've established with your customers. So what would have to happen for the IMF to get involved in digital assets? Well, it's simple actually. A country or central bank would have to hold a digital currency or issue a digital currency. We have read about the BOJ, Bank of Japan, Singapore, and Iran. We're all moving towards a digital currency. This would position the IMF to step in as well. This would force the IMF to find a way to support these countries and this new form of e-money. Once enough countries convert to CBDC, then XRP will become a reserve asset, and then the IMF will step in. So then it just says Bank of Japan exploring digital currencies, Iran issues the payment, Singapore, and then right down here is the icing on the cake. We believe the deal between Ripple and the IMF is done. Does this remind you of a picture you take with your team when a project has been completed? And that is almost the most important line in this article here. We have this photograph. I know this has been floating around on Twitter, but this is a photograph of a lot of important people in the room, including Christine Lagarde, the head of the IMF, and Brad Garlinghouse over here. I don't know who these other people are. When you see a group photo like this with a bunch of big names, top CEOs from different companies, they are taken with purpose, and they're meant to promote whatever these people have just worked on. So this is not a company photo, right? Because we do see Christine Lagarde from the IMF here and Brad Garlinghouse. So this is a team that was actually put together to complete something. So let's get down to the bottom of this, guys. I want to hear what you guys think about this photo. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. And I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.